Between two worlds, Tolu Adeyemi was a proud son of Ibadan, Nigeria. Born into a Yoruba family where traditions ran deep, he grew up watching his grandfather with 3 wives who lived in different compounds, and his own father with 2, each with children scattered like a village harvest. To Tolu, this was the normal rhythm of life. Men married more than once, and women accepted it as part of the culture. When Tolu won a scholarship to study architecture in the United States, he thought he was only traveling for education. But fate had other plans. It was in Boston, at a heated campus debate on gender roles in the 21st century, that he first laid eyes on Linder Green. Linder was fierce and radiant, a feminist activist whose voice could silence a hall. Her hair was cropped short, her eyes sharp like someone who had seen injustice and vowed to fight it. Tolu had never met a woman like her. After the debate, when she challenged one of his casual comments about African traditions, he laughed, charmed instead of offended. That laughter grew into conversations. The conversations grew into friendship, and friendship melted into love. Against all odds, the African traditionalist and the American activist got married. 10 years into their marriage, the Adeyemi household in Atlanta was filled with warmth. Linder's career as a social justice advocate blossomed, while Tolu ran his own architectural firm. They had 2 children, Amina, a bright 9-year-old with her mother's questioning spirit, and David, a gentle 6-year-old who loved building Lego cities with his father. But beneath the happiness, a silent storm brewed in Tolu's heart. He was turning 40, and something in him stirred an echo of his heritage. Back home, cousins and uncles teased him on WhatsApp calls. "Tolu, you're still with only one wife? You're not truly your father's son, oh." At first, he dismissed it with jokes. But as the months went by, the thought grew. He loved Linder deeply, yet the idea of having a second wife like his father, like his grandfather, felt like a legacy calling. One night, lying beside Linder, he whispered carefully, "Linder, what do you think of polygamy?" She sat up immediately, her eyes sharp. "Polygamy? As in you, marrying another woman?" Tolu swallowed. "It is part of my culture. Where I come from, a man can." She cut him off. "Where you come from? Tolu, where you live is here. Where you marry me is here. Do you even hear yourself? After everything we've built, you want to share this marriage with another woman?" The silence after her words was heavier than stone. A few weeks later, Tolu traveled to New York for a business project and met Aisha Bello, a Nigerian American writer. Aisha was bold, witty, and understood African traditions in a way Linder never could, because she studied archaeology, focusing in early family tradition before the coming of colonialism in Africa, and had written books on how domestic violence was low because tradition and laws was obeyed, where each member of the family understand their roles. She laughed at his Yoruba jokes, cooked him jollof rice that tasted like home, and spoke to him about African pride. Tolu found himself torn. Aisha represented his roots, while Linder embodied his present and future. He never crossed the line, but the temptation whispered louder each day. When Linder discovered messages between him and Aisha, innocent yet intimate, her fury shook their home. "Is this what you meant by culture?" she demanded, holding his phone. "You want to drag me into some patriarchal fantasy where my worth is cut in half the moment you get bored." Tolu's voice broke. "It's not boredom, Linder. It's who I am. Back home, no one questions this. But here I feel trapped between worlds." Her eyes softened for a moment, seeing his struggle, but hardened again. "Tolu, listen to me. You can honor your culture in many ways. But you chose me, and I chose you. You can't have both a feminist wife and a polygamous tradition. Decide where you stand." The next morning, Tolu drove his children to school in silence. Amina hummed in the back seat, clutching her science project, while David leaned against the window, half asleep. Watching them, Tolu's chest tightened. He thought of Aisha's laughter, his father's voice reminding him of tradition, and his grandfather's compound filled with wives and children. He thought of Linder's fiery eyes, her unshakable conviction, and the home they had built together brick by brick. At a red light, Amina asked, "Daddy, are you sad?" Tolu forced a smile. "No, my princess. Just thinking." That night, when he returned home, Linder was waiting in the living room, arms folded, her face calm but unreadable. Between them, on the table, sat two symbols of his divided life: his father's old beaded wristband from Nigeria and a framed photo of their wedding day in Boston. "Who are you, Tolu?" she asked softly. "And who do you want to be?" He stared at both objects, his heart pulled in opposite directions, knowing the choice would define not just him, but everyone he loved. The clock ticked, the silence thickened, and Tolu, caught between two worlds, still had no answer. Thanks for watching, like and comment. Please share and subscribe to help grow the channel. See you in the next one.